everybody. Oh, yeah. And welcome back to another episode of a very special podcast. This is the podcast in which we talk about all of your favorite TV series from yesteryear. Oh, yeah. And then we discuss it over a glass of wine. I'm your host, in case you don't know me, I'm your host, Patrick M. Dunn. And I'm joined here, as always, by Forgetful Freddy herself, Kat Halstead, the author. She forgot we were recording today. I had to drag her out of wherever I had to drag you out of.
You dragged my ass out of bed.
You're in bed? You're a bed girl? Girl's sleeping?
Yes.
Girl's having Z's.
Sleep.
Z's over her head, dreaming of Dream Man in her dreams. Dream a little dream come true.
Maybe.
She's wishing, praying. Welcome back, girl. Welcome back. Welcome back to the round table.
The round table, yeah.
The virtual round table.
What is this fake accent you're pulling off?
I was rolling my R's. You don't like it?
No.
Let's try new things. See if we can branch out.
Yeah, let's not.
All right. What are we doing today? Where are we in the world of sitcoms and television? And
Okay, we are in the 90s. A CTV is like the thing.
Yeah.
It's a Thursday night.
Happened on a Thursday, to quote the great Alicia Keys.
We are dropping it to a point where we get little teeny tiny crossovers between our New York sitcoms.
Yeah, teeny tiny. We're tiny, we're toony. We're all a little loony. And we're all a little loony for friends tonight, because that's what we're doing. We're going to hang out with our... we've talked about this before. How old are they? We're in season 2, so how old are they now? They're 30s? Early 30s?
They'd be like 26, 27, 28.
They're that young?
Yeah.
Ross has his PhD and he's 26 or 27?
Isn't that crazy? He's on the later scale. He's on the high. He and Chandler are a little older, but Monica and Rachel are 26, 27.
Oh, he's an old 29. An old 29.
Yeah.
These 26-year-olds, they're like, oh my god, that Ross is so old. He's 29. He's wise beyond his years.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Hold on. I was watching Paradise Hotel the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to R.I.P. Paradise Hotel, already been canceled. But so they're all 23, 24, 25, and there's one girl that was 29. And this dude's you're pretty hot for an old lady.
What is this, the Big Brother house? Did Robin Cass do the casting on that one?
I guess so. I don't know. And it was Deion Sanders' daughter, too.
Oh my god.
The old football player from the 90s. He's got a daughter that's 29 and old, but hot for being old. Just want to throw that out there.
Oh my god.
All right, so what hot episode? Actually, hold on. This is the third time we're doing Friends, right?
Yeah.
So the first time we dipped into this universe, it was the one with Brad Pitt, the one with the rumor.
Yes.
They had a hot rumor that Rachel was a hermaphrodite. Was that the?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yes, that she's born with both boy and girl parts, and her parents decided to raise her as a girl.
Yeah, Rachel had a dick. Rachel was born with a dick.
And then you hear Chandler go, "You're the hermaphrodite cheerleader from Long Island?" She's like, heard about that? Everybody did.
Wild times. And that was 2003 or 4 maybe, so I don't know.
Yeah, there are things. I was watching a video yesterday about how there were storylines on Glee that there's no way they could do in today's world. And Glee's not even that old.
Yeah, it's it started 10 years. It said 09, right? So it's 10 years.
Yeah, it started 10 years ago, so.
A lot has happened in the last decade. As we've explored, even when we started this podcast, almost 5 years ago, the landscape was different.
Yeah, very different.
So then we came back to Friends. A few years later, we did No, hold on. We did a New Year's Eve episode with the monkey, right? The one with the monkey.
Yes.
Now tonight we're going to season 2, episode 6. We're still in the OG days. We're doing the one with the baby on the bus, I believe is what it's called.
Yes. The one with the baby on a bus.
Yes, Ross is a dad. I always forget that Ross is a dad.
I love that you forget that.
All right, so hold on. So he was divorced in the the first episode. He was freshly divorced, right?
Yeah, he's getting the divorce
with Carol. Was that her name, Carol?
Yes.
And Rachel was getting her first episode. She's decides not to get married or something, or she gets like stood up. I forget.
No, she runs out on the wedding.
Okay, all right. She's a runaway bride.
Yeah, that's why she shows up in the first scene in that wedding dress. That is the same dress Lenore wore in the Poe party that we did.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The Edgar Allan Poe murder mystery night. So that's wild. Like, I always forget that Ross was married and is a dad, and that Rachel like was engaged. Like, you just forget. Like, they come back to it, but it's just this thing you forget.
It's a thing Patrick forgets.
I don't know. I was gonna say, is it a good job of the writers, or is it just something I forget?
It's just something you forget.
Not only is Ross getting a divorce, but he's also gonna be a daddy. Yeah. Carol got knocked up, I guess, before. What's the origin story on this? What's the origin story on her pregnancy?
Okay, so Ross and Carol are together, and they're married, whatever, and they're doing what married people do, but
they fuck.
Carol's having an affair
with Susan.
With Susan from her gym.
They're scissoring. They're up all night scissoring.
Oh my god, you gotta no. And so Carol finally decides she's gonna leave Ross to be with Susan because she's a lesbian. She's like Ross, this just isn't it. This isn't it. I'm sorry. And then she finds out she's pregnant.
Yep, and then she gives birth, I believe, near the end of season 1.
Yes.
And now
to Ben, who is named after the janitor's name tag from the closet Ross and Phoebe and Susan get locked in.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It was on the name tag. And they're like, oh, you know what? I like that name, Ben. Little baby Ben.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that kind of is like the setup for this episode. So Ross is a dad, and wild shenanigans ensue. But hold on. Before we get into it, do you want to talk about the landscape that was November 2nd, 1995, this night of television?
Yes. What was going on November 2nd, 1995?
We're in 8th grade, I believe. I believe we're in the first semester of 8th grade.
1995? No, 7th grade.
7th grade?
Yeah.
Oh, you might be right. I don't know. I can't remember. So, all right. Anyway, no. Hold on. We're in 8th grade because it had...
No, you're right. 8th grade.
Because Friends started when we were in 7th grade.
Yeah. Okay.
So Friends was like a sleeper hit in its first season. It kind of like built on by word of mouth, and then over the summer, it like NBC like reran the fuck out of it.
Yes.
And it kind of like built up that buzz. It got that buzz, and it came back for a second season, and it kind of like took America by storm.
Yes.
We got music videos starring the cast and crew. We got T-shirts at the stores. If you went to the local stores, you got the T-shirt. So like that's the world we're in. But do you want to know what's going on outside of NBC? Do you want to know? Want to do ABC?
Yeah, what's happening outside of NBC?
All right, so things kick off. We're gonna have a cinematic movie. It's gearing up for the sequel. I believe the sequel is getting ready to drop. So the Alphabet decided to air Father of the Bride, which we just talked about like yesterday.
We did.
Yes.
We did. We were just talking about this last night. Like, it wasn't even in DMs. It was like on Twitter. Like, so people are, if you want, you can find it like weeks later when this episode airs. But that came up
because we're recording this episode like a month in advance. So I don't know. I'm sure no one's gonna want to go back and look for it.
Yeah.
You tweet a lot. You tweet every like 20 minutes.
I do not tweet that often.
I don't know. When I go on, it was like while you were gone. I have like 18 fucking tweets from you, and it's only been like 2 hours. All right, so if you're not familiar with Father of the Bride, this stars Steve Martin, Diane Keaton, Martin Short. So Steve Martin portrays George Banks, a businessman and the owner of an athletic shoe company called Sidekicks, not to be confused with the Chuck Norris, Jonathan Brandis movie. When he finds out his daughter is getting married, does not want to give her away. And like the movie's just kind of like the long realization that, you know what, maybe I do like my son-in-law.
I love that movie. I love that movie so much.
Great movie. Hold on, did you hear the latest about the Father of Bride cinematic universe? It's expanding.
What?
Yeah. Disney Plus has a remake that's, I guess it's going to be on their platform, their new platform coming soon. So yeah.
Whoa! Like, okay, Father of Bride is a great movie. Like, if it's a Saturday afternoon, I'm just hanging out at home and it's on like TBS. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, good movie. Even the sequel's good too.
They're both good. Yeah, like they're both great. I love Kimberly Williams.
Yeah.
Now Kimberly Williams Paisley.
Yeah.
She's adorable. I adore her. It's such a good show.
What else has she done? What else is that Kimberly Williams Beasley, or the fuck you said her name was?
Paisley.
Oh, Kingsley?
She's married to Brad Paisley.
Oh, Paisley. She is married to Brad Paisley?
Yeah. She's, she did this really cute movie for ABC Family back in the day. It's on the last I checked, it was actually on the Hallmark movie app. It's called Lucky 7, where she's got where when she was a kid, her mother told her, was like trying to like explain life to her and told her like you should have 7 boyfriends right before the mom died. The 7th will be like the one. So she like tries to like make that happen by pretending that Patrick Dempsey is her boyfriend. It was like right before Patrick Dempsey exploded with Grey's Anatomy.
Oh yeah. Like he was just like doing these little small projects and trying to get back into the acting world, and all of a sudden, they're like, hey, Patrick Dempsey, do you want to do this show called Grey's Anatomy? He's like, I'll read. I'll do a reading for it. And, it's going to be a mid-season replacement. Yeah, all right, I'll do it. And then maybe I'll do one of these shitty movies next year.
Like, I'll take the paycheck.
Yeah, then all of a sudden, he's fucking is he McDreamy or is he McSteamy? I forget.
I think he is McDreamy. I don't know. I've never actually, watched Grey's Anatomy.
McPeeny.
But, yeah, so she's done stuff like that. She's done a couple Hallmark movies. She was on, according to Jim, she was on The Practice.
Whoa.
So she's worked a lot. She's adorable. I love her. And... Whoops,
I just dropped my mug.
Oh.
Good thing it was empty.
Yeah. Yikes. Jeez, Patrick. So that's...
Yeah, so that's the Kimberly Corner. Shout out to Kimberly Corner. Tweet us at Very Podcast and tell us what it was like pretending to date Patrick Dempsey in a Freeform movie or whatever, ABC Family movie.
It might have actually been Fox Family at the time.
Oh yeah. I know. That never confuses me because it's like every 4 years it has like a new name.
Yeah.
And I literally still call it the Family Channel. So.
Yeah, it's the Family Channel.
All right, you ready for ABC 10 o'clock?
Yeah, it was on at 10. All
right, we're gonna chill with one of our boy toys, Stephen Bochco, in his show Murder One. Do you remember Murder One?
Is this the one where they followed the one case for a season?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was on for
because they thought it would be cool because of the OJ. Everybody had been so obsessed with the OJ Simpson case. They thought if everybody just followed one court case for a season, people would be down.
Yeah. I guess it did all right, but I think it was really hard to follow, and it didn't they didn't have time to rerun the entire season in between breaks. So a lot of people had a hard time following it. So they just kind of they dipped out. They dipped out of it. And it got renewed for a second season. I think the second season was a little more accessible. I believe it was smaller cases.
It sounds like it would totally be the kind of thing you would binge watch now. It was ahead of the time.
This would be a 12-episode Netflix series that everyone would be fucking jizzing all over on fucking Facebook.
You come on Twitter Friday afternoon and everybody's all like, oh my god, Murder One, this is the greatest show ever.
Then they get mad at the ending. And
yeah,
they tweet about it for fucking days.
Because they always get mad at the ending.
R.I.P. Game of Thrones. All right. You ready for CBS? You ready for a hot night at CBS?
So what's on CBS?
Oh my god. Our the final season of Murder, She Wrote, when they were still on Thursdays before they pushed it off to Sunday for the last hurrah. Hold on. Do you want to know tonight's episode?
Yeah, give it to me.
All right, tonight's episode is called Nan's Ghost Part 1. It's a 2-parter. And you want the description?
Yes. Always.
All right. Jessica's investigation into ghost stories lands her in a dungeon.
Oh my god. What was this episode called?
Nan's Ghost.
Nan's Ghost?
Like a Nana?
Oh.
Yeah, Nan. Like Nan.
Nan.
Yeah, could you picture Jessica Fletcher being trapped in a dungeon, being chased by, I don't know, fucking ghosts and goblins and, I don't know, maybe sex slaves? Who knows? Who knows what's in this dungeon?
I don't know. I'm looking this shit up later, though.
Can you picture Jessica Fletcher in, dominatrix gear, spanking men?
Because she's a member of the NXIVM cult?
Oh, maybe. Maybe she's getting branded by Allison Mack. Allison Mack's holding that fucking, that Brandon on her for 8 minutes. She's like, oh god, this is nothing. This is nothing, Allison Mack. Back in my day, we used to leave this Brandon fucking tool on us for an hour. Digging deeper, girl.
That's how long they would do it, is a half hour or something.
All right, you ready for CBS 9 o'clock?
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is wild. I've never heard of this show. Have you ever heard of New York News?
No.
I'm going to read you the cast. So New York News is the story of a fictional New York magazine, a struggling tabloid in the comprehensive newspaper market that is New York City. The major characters include Jack Riley, played by Gregory Harrison, an old-style newspaperman that he actually snuck around in a trench coat.
Mm-hmm.
Melina Kanakaridis, I think is how you say her name. She's in it. She plays a young writer who, I don't know, is now coming into this world. Madeline Kahn's in it as a hot gossip columnist.
Mm-hmm.
And hold on. The lead in the pack is the editor-in-chief, Louise Felcott, played by Mary Tyler Moore. What?
Wait! No, this isn't what I saw.
So,
wait.
The show, Mary Tyler Moore was reportedly very unhappy with how her character is written, as a tough, unsympathetic, unglamorous woman who peered out at her subordinates through thick Coke bottle glasses. And she was trying to get out of her contract on the show. Like, she's like, I need to be off the show. I can't fucking do the show. But the Nielsen ratings were so low that the show was canceled, so it didn't matter. So she was gone. Girl was gone. Okay,
no, this is not the one I found on YouTube. I found her 80s sitcom.
She had like
she
had like a shitty run of like bad shows, like post Mary Tyler Moore.
Yeah. Well, I think they kept trying to put her in a newsroom.
Oh, yeah, like that was a thing. I was like...
Because the other one was a magazine that went under, and she had to, like, work for, like, the outdoor magazine or something. Like, they kept trying to put her in a similar place as Mary Tyler Moore show took place.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe just put her in, like, she wasn't in the Mary role, she was more in, like, a Lou role for both. It sounds like for both of those. So
yeah, maybe she does better as a Mary and not as a Lou. She's no Lou.
Yeah, like definitely the last one for sure. It sounds like she was in the Lou role.
Lou role. For sure. And it was a drama. I don't think it was a comedy. And I don't know. I guess it was shitty.
Oh.
Yeah. This was like an hour long. All right.
Oh my God.
You ready to slide on over to Fox? You want to spend the night at Fox?
Yeah, give me some. What's going on over at Fox in 1995?
All right, at 8 o'clock, we're going to spend a night with our gal pals at Living Single. We're a 90s kind of girl and a 90s kind of girl, or however it goes.
Yeah.
I'm glad I get my crew. Yeah. And then, speaking of my crew, Fox 830, remember the show The Crew?
No, not at all.
We talked about this before. All right, this is a show that followed the lives of flight attendants. It starred Kristen Bauer, who went on to be on True Blood. And it was created by Mark Cherry. This is a Mark Cherry sitcom.
Okay. Huh.
It was on for, I think, a season. I remember watching it like here and there. I watched it a few times. I don't think I liked it. Didn't stand out.
Yeah, like we probably like put it on or whatever after Living Single and just didn't think about it.
Yeah, I think this was before they moved Martin over to Thursdays.
Yeah.
So, they were trying new things. But hold on. You ready for Fox 9 o'clock? We've talked about this oodles of times.
Ooh, what is it?
Takes place in the Law and Order world. New York Undercover. Yeah.
Ooh.
Starring Michael DiLorenzo and Josh Hopkins in the final season. I was just reading that. I didn't know that he was on the show for the final season.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You may know him from Quantico or Cougar Town.
Oh, yes. Him, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I had to flashback. I've been very, very slowly getting through Quantico season 3. It's a chore and it makes me mad.
Oh.
Because I fucking love Quantico seasons 1 and 2. But, season 3 is so bad.
I mean, you sold that first season show into me and I couldn't get through it. I don't know. It's just too much it's one of those shows where, it's a fugitive style show, but, the person's innocent and it just gets tiring after a while and you're like, come on.
Yeah, the thing is, season 1 and 2 had a very specific kind of format.
Oh, the flashback format?
The flashbacks with them trying to solve a case. And even when they got out of that flashback point, it still worked. But season 3 went with a more villain of the week kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't work.
Yeah, I get you. I get it. When you do those flashback shows, you really gotta think it out a couple years in advance. That way you can do it.
Yeah, you gotta have it planned out.
Otherwise, it fumbles apart very quickly. And you know what? Lost was cool. Arrow even did the flashback format, but it's after 2 years, you got sick of it. You're like, oh god, tired of this shit. Stop doing it. And they started doing flash forwards and sideways and I don't know. Weird. Oh, all right. You ready? You ready for NBC? You ready for a hot night on the Peacock?
Yeah, what's going on over at the Peacock Network this night?
All right, things kick off NBC at 8 o'clock with Friends. I'm guessing this is probably the first year that Mad About You wasn't on Thursday night because I didn't see it on the schedule.
Yeah, I think this is when it got moved to Monday night or whatever.
Yeah, they shuffled it around. They probably wanted to build up some other stuff.
Well, yeah, I think they probably moved it to build up. I think they had a Monday night block where it was Mad About You, Suddenly Susan, stuff like that.
I think we're still too early for Suddenly season, though. I think that was like a few years out.
But yeah, I think that's like, yeah, I think we're a year away from Suddenly Susan.
Probably like with like Wings and the other like long time shows probably got moved to another night.
Yeah.
Frasier.
No, Frasier wasn't around yet.
Oh, it's 1995. Frasier's been out for like 2 years.
Oh yeah, sorry.
What are you talking about?
My brain is still in 1992.
Well, you need to come out of that world, girl. We're in 1995 now. Who are you, fucking Kimmy Schmidt? Fucking trapped in your bunker?
Apparently.
All right.
Oh, remember when we loved Kimmy?
Yeah, first season Kimmy Schmidt.
Anyways.
Rest of the seasons, not so good. Not so good. All right. NBC 8:30, The Single Guy, starring Jonathan Silverman as the single guy. Yeah.
Ooh.
And tonight's like the teeny tiny crossover night where everything like is interconnected.
Yes.
It's like the MCU. It's all connected.
It's the must-see TV universe.
Except for 9 o'clock. Except for Seinfeld. Seinfeld's like, fuck you guys, we're not doing this. But tonight, though, hold on. Any guess what Seinfeld episode's on tonight? It's a big one.
Ooh, I don't know.
It's probably when you quote like Seinfeld, you probably say this line: "No soup for you."
No, it's the Soup Nazi.
Yeah, it made its debut tonight.
Oh,
yeah.
That is such a good episode. I was actually just thinking when you quote the show, I will say these pretzels are making me thirsty like all the time, and I don't know why that's the line that I quote the most.
I don't know. I feel like "no soup for you" is like whatever you get from most people, or like Spongeworthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've used Spongeworthy.
All right, NBC 9:30.
I have definitely used that one.
NBC 9:30. We're going to spend the night with Lea Thompson and Caroline Duffy in Caroline in the City. Oh, yeah. And who knows? She may even make an appearance in tonight's Friends episode. Who knows? We'll see.
Yes.
Maybe. Shout out to Lea Thompson, star of Howard the Duck, Back to the Future, and Caroline in the City. And,
yeah. She did The Secret. No. She did,
Switched at Birth.
Switched at Birth, yes. I was like, that's not it, because that's not one my friend worked on. I was like, what did he work on? Like, he worked on the one with the deaf girl.
All right. And are you ready to end the night? You ready to end the night at a hospital, our favorite county, like Chicago General Hospital, the fuck it's called?
Yeah.
Chicago County?
Chicago County General.
That's it. Okay. ER. Oh, yeah. Hold on. You ready for tonight's episode?
Woo! My babies.
Tonight's episode.
Oh, my God. Hold on. I'm ready.
The hostile pediatrics chief targets Ross. There's a gang shootout in the ER. And hold on. New student Tracy confides in Carter, and the staff debates a new clerk's past. So, I don't know. It's very, very vague. I don't know. I can't really pinpoint what's going on.
The new clerk is the female clerk, Randy.
Yep, shout out to Randy.
And they're trying to, like, put these weird little clues about her past together because, like, they're sure they've seen her somewhere. Like, she's mysterious. She's kind of like a badass. She's a little scary.
Yeah, she's fun.
So they don't, like, know anything about her. She's funky. She's like your 90s grunge girl.
Yeah, she, like, she's got, like, Rayanne from My So-Called Life here, I think. Is that her?
Yeah, sort of. Like, she's definitely not, like...
She, like, colors her hair weird.
At the very least, she does in, like, random little braids and puts in, like, a top knot and stuff. And that was, like, wild.
Yeah, that was wild in 1995.
And she had, like, a piercing or something.
Oh, yeah, she, like, maybe her belly button was pierced. And, like, she, like... She, like...
Or at least her nose or something.
Maybe she was, like, reaching up to grab something off a shelf and, like, her midriff showed, and they were like, oh, my God, she has a belly button piercing. Who does she think she is? Alicia Silverstone in the Aerosmith video?
And I think this is also the one where, like, the pediatrics department gets mad at Doug for doing something, and they're like, you're not in our department because he's a pediatrician, but he works in the ER.
Oh, he takes care of
But then, like, he's always butting heads with that department over, like, treating the patients.
Yeah, wild stuff. Poor Doug. Poor Doug Ross.
Yeah.
He just wants to, I don't know, live his life in the ER, and the fucking chief of pediatrics is targeting him wrongly.
He's like, no, you have to work in our department. It's like this ridiculous stuff, yeah.
And that's that night of TV. Hot night? Would you call it a hot night? I always say it's a hot night, but...
I feel like it's a pretty interesting night.
Yeah, it's very... We get movies, we get hot shows, we get shows that are on their way out.
Like, here's the thing. I was definitely, like, this is totally the kind of night where you got the VCR in the one room recording something, and you might have a VCR in another room recording a totally different channel.
Yeah, I would say we didn't have that many duds this night. I think New York News and The Crew were like kind of like the only like duds of the night.
Yeah, like everything else, like I could totally see like 8th grade me recording Father of the Bride in one room and watch it like in the living room, and then in my bedroom watching it like NBC.
But then maybe on the tiny ass TV, someone's taping "Living Single" for you.
Or like when Friends is that commercial, you flip to Living Single and then you go back and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would give on a 1 out of 5 Jessica Fletcher dominatrix outfits. I would give this a 4. I would give this four spankings by Jessica Fletcher.
Jessica Fletcher.
Yeah. She's really saying that she's down there playing with a Ouija board, but girl's down there with whips and chains. It's like that Rihanna song, "Whips and Chains Excite Me." Yeah.
Oh my god.
You ready to get into this world? You ready to go to that weird like New York City?
Yes, let's dive into New York City, 1995 via Friends.
Can I point out we get a lot of like on the street scenes in this episode, and I don't really like ever recall seeing that many like street scenes in Friends.
Yeah, this one is definitely one where they were, for the majority, not in the apartments.
We get like a whole like side story with Phoebe outside, and you have Chandler and Joey running around outside, and
yeah,
we're so used to seeing like Seinfeld like street scenes, and they're very crowded, and it actually like looks like New York City when you're watching Seinfeld, but for some reason these streets were very, very odd to me. Like, it obviously looked like a backlot.
I think this is a different part of New York than where Jerry lives. So the streets are going to be a little different.
That is true. But these
were pretty crowded. Compared to most of the street scenes we get for Friends, these were pretty crowded.
I don't know. I didn't see many people in these.
Really? I felt like we saw a lot of people.
They'd be like, there's like a whole scene where Phoebe and Rachel are like outside talking, and only like 2 people walk by.
Here's the thing, like when you're out in front of Central Perk, you definitely don't see as many people as you'll see like when Joey and Chandler are running around.
Oh yeah, there's more people in them, but I just thought it was weird that
I think that's part of that neighborhood though.
It's like a up and coming neighborhood.
Like whenever you're watching Friends and they're outside on that street, it's not like packed with people.
I don't know. It stood out for me. I was just like, oh. I was like, even when they were like Seinfeld, I believe it's like it could be New York City. I don't think of it as like a backlot. But this, I was like, oh, this is totally a backlot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. It just had a weird look to it. I don't know. And like, do we get a lot of Friends outdoor scenes? Because I can't really. Like, maybe you get like one sparingly here and there, but like we were just like a majority of this episode's outside.
You get them like occasionally. You don't get them very often. If they're outside, it's usually like in front of Central Perk.
They even had like one weird shot. We got like a point of view shot from Rachel's perspective when she was like looking out a window, and that was really weird too. Like because Phoebe was outside, sad because Chrissie Hynde came and took over her job at the Central Perk as the house band, and I don't know. It was like weird. Like have we ever got like different perspectives like that?
Well, in the next episode, it is the episode where Rachel opens those doors and it's raining and Ross comes in and kisses her. So I feel like that was setting up the experimental shot for that next week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we get a lot of hot experimental shots. All right. We probably just confused a lot of people, so maybe we should get to the story so it makes sense.
Yeah, we should probably get to this story.
So I'll let you kick it off. Take us into this world, Kat Halstead.
Okay, so we kind of just start off and it's like Joey, Ross, Monica, and Chandler with baby Ben hanging out at the apartment.
Yep.
And anytime Monica holds Ben, he cries.
Yes.
Anybody else holds Ben, he stops crying.
So like Ross will be holding baby Ben and he's fine, and then he like gives her to Monica for a second. But before like Ross is even like taking away his arms, like baby Ben's like already screaming. And I guess it kind of saddens Monica because, she kind of has that maternal instinct in a way. And she
wants her nephew to like her.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
And
she's scary, though, I guess.
Every time she's like...
She is scary.
Near him, he freaks out.
Maybe it's that hairstyle.
Maybe.
she's... We didn't call it the Monica. It was...
No. This was like right after like Phoebe gave her that bad haircut, too.
That wasn't on the cover of magazines. It's after that bad haircut that Phoebe gave her and like the Scream 3 haircut.
Yeah.
Bad hair years. Bad hair years.
So.
Sorry, Courtney Arquette Cox.
They're just hanging out, and Monica has made a pie, and it's a kiwi lime pie. And Ross thought she said key lime, and we got a little problem. Turns out Ross is allergic to kiwi, and he's not carrying an EpiPen or anything.
Yes.
Wait, did EpiPens exist in 1995? I think they did.
I'm pretty sure they did. I just thought this was weird because there was a scene in which Ross lists off a list of things he's allergic to, and it was pretty common items, pretty common things, and I was like, that's kind of weird that he's allergic to all this stuff that he could accidentally ingest and he doesn't carry an EpiPen around. I
don't know. I'm not allergic to stuff like that, so but yeah.
I mean, I guess if I had a peanut allergy, does he say he's allergic to peanuts? I can't remember.
I can't remember. It wasn't peanuts. It was some other nut, not as common, not something you're gonna find every day.
Yeah, I don't know, but if I had any kind of food allergy that could almost kill me, I would definitely carry around an EpiPen, because you never know what fucking people put in food, especially you're at someone's house or you're at a restaurant and you don't have the list of ingredients in you. And
it's back then it wasn't people were not as allergy savvy.
Oh yeah, were we in that weird world before peanut butter allergies existed?
Yeah, before everybody was fucking allergic to peanut butter, and you can't go into a school with any kind of peanut product now.
Oh my god, you'd be fucking exiled.
Dude, I will if I eat anything peanut butter and then I have to go pick up Axton or something, I will wash my hands, wash my face, wash my hands again.
They smell your breath.
Just to make sure, just to be extra safe, because I'm terrified. Because you'll go to the schools and they'll be no peanuts allowed on premises. No peanuts. There'll be there's at Oxton's old school there was a note on the door. I was oh my god. This is ridiculous.
What
are you people doing that your kids are allergic to peanuts?
I don't know. Whenever I think of allergies, I just think of Henry. I think that's his name from My Girl. Macaulay Culkin's character, who's allergic to everything.
Oh,
that was his name, right? Henry.
Thomas J.
Oh, Thomas. Okay.
Why
do I think his name was Henry? R.I.P. Girl. R.I.P.
Thomas J.
The bees gotcha. Fuck the bees. Fuck them. Kill them all.
Yeah, to be fair, he got stung by a lot of bees.
You know what? Maybe we shortly their conspiracy corner. Conspiracy corner. After My Girl came up, people were upset at bees, so they started killing the bees. It's all fucking blame it all on My Girl. Blame it all on My Girl.
It's all My Girl's fault. Oh my god, we need to watch that movie.
Yep, it's a sad movie. I think it's on Stars. I think I started there. Ross's tongue starts swelling up, and Monica's oh shit, we need to take you to the hospital. You need a shot. And Ross was oh, I gotta get a thought. I don't want to get a thought because his tongue's getting big.
It's no, I'm good. Yeah. Okay, couldn't just a dose of Benadryl help this too?
Well, if not, if you're going into anaphylactic shock, that can kill you in 20 minutes.
Okay.
And Benadryl kind of takes too long. Okay. Takes way too long, girl.
I don't know. I only have one allergy, and that's to the sun, and Benadryl helps.
You have a pollen allergy, and it just makes you sniffly. That's me.
I don't even have that.
So hold on. So after Ross's tongue starts swelling, and Monica takes him to the hospital to the ER to get a shot, we get a weird line from Joey. And he starts talking about his Uncle Sal with a really big tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Chandler's oh, is he that uncle with a really beautiful wife? So we kind of got a weird, subtle cunnilingus joke right here. Fucking
yes.
At 8:00 on a Thursday night.
Yes.
Then we cut over. Now we're gonna cut over to
Okay, first Ross is a little iffy about leaving Ben with the boys. But they're no, we can do it. We got him. We'll take him to the park. It's all good. We got the kid. Don't worry about it.
I do want to give a special shout out to Ross and Monica for not taking the baby to the hospital, because taking a baby to a hospital is the stupidest thing.
Yeah.
So shout out to them for being smart, saying, hey, we don't want to expose our fucking child to all these horrible diseases. And I get so mad when people bring newborns to the hospital.
Exactly.
They're not there as a patient.
And the newborn's not the one that's sick.
Leave them at home. Leave it at home with your fucking wacky roommates. Yeah, so that happens.
Your wacky next door neighbors.
Yeah, so that happens. All right, I want to point out. So we get 3 storylines. So we get Ross's storyline where he's at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
We get Joey and Chandler's storyline where they like taking care of the baby, and then we get a Phoebe and Rachel storyline. And I was trying to think, how is it broken down? Because there's no like A, B, or C. It's just they're all kind of like equal.
Yeah, they're all kind of equal, and I think that's kind of the beauty of Friends, though. Nothing's more. They're all kind of balanced. They're all kind of just like these little things, but they all kind of build on these they play off these little relationships that these people have. Because you get brother and sister with Ross and Monica. And really, could anybody else have like survived going to the hospital with Ross?
No way.
No. Monica's the only one who can put up with him and talk to him the way that she does.
And I love that she kind of like talks to him like he's a child.
Yes.
And even the doctor does it too.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild.
Well, that's because Ross acts like a child.
Yeah.
Like, we later learn that Ross is still going to his pediatrician.
Oh, yeah.
As an adult.
So, I was reading. So, this is the first time that we learned that Ross has a PhD.
Okay, this is the first time?
Yeah. I guess it's said in a throwaway line that Monica says at the hospital.
Okay.
So, I thought that was pretty wild. So I think they were...
It was supposed to be like, you have a PhD for crying out loud, and you're being a baby.
Yeah, so I think they're really starting to now, like, you know, the show's like a hit, and now they're like starting to expand on the characters' backgrounds and expand on these characters and their complicated relationships with each other. So I thought that was great.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Okay.
Now, we're going to... I want to cut over to Rachel and Phoebe's storyline, which I thought I was going to hate it. Because, like, at first I said it started to seem like a B or C plot. But then, as it went on, this got very like emotional too. So,
yeah. So, like, what I love is it's a really great bonding moment for Rachel and Phoebe, who, at the end of the day, really don't have much to connect them when you look at the greater picture of how everybody's connected.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
like,
have they been like
Phoebe's is Monica's former roommate. But she still hangs out with them. Like, Phoebe is easily a person who could have left the group and not been as connected as she is, but she's still there.
She's still there. She's like on the fringe. She's on the side, but this is kind of like in the episode where we're gonna just really cement her into this world. So we kind of get like
we're gonna really cement the Phoebe and Rachel friendship.
Yes. Because
their friendships with Monica are already cemented, and their friendships with the guys are where they're at. So you got to really build this bond between them. And Phoebe thinks she's going to be playing at the coffee shop because she plays at the coffee shop like whatever this is, like a Saturday afternoon or something, Sunday afternoon, something like that. So she just thinks this is like what I do. I'm going to play. And we get the owner of Central Perk, who we almost never see.
Creepy Corner, played by Max Wright from Alf.
Yes. Like, okay, I literally sent Patrick a picture when I was watching this. It was like, it's Willie from Alf.
We've talked. I don't know if we've talked about him. Like, we've talked about him on the podcast before. Like, how I just think he's like the creepiest fucking man alive. And you know about his past. Like, he was married to a woman. And then he would have these like secret like trysts with like him and some other guy would like pay homeless men like $100 for them to like just have like 3-way sex, and they would just like go on these like weird like crack binges.
Wait, have we talked about this before?
I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast or if we just talked about it in like our DMs. But that's the lowdown.
Probably just in our DMs.
That's the Max Wright lowdown.
I just know that he strangled the Alf puppet. Because he got so frustrated with the puppet on the set.
Yes.
Of Alf.
Yes. And it's no secret. We talk about how we think the Tanner family fucking did not deserve Alf. Like, they were just a shitty family. Except for maybe Lynn and the little kid.
Yeah. Brian, I think his name was.
Yeah, Brian. They were okay, I guess. But I believe that Alf should have lived somewhere else.
Yeah.
Maybe he could have crashed into the neighbors, like the Yachmonics. Maybe he would have had a better time.
Oh, my God. Could you imagine? They would have been having so much fun going into Mrs. Kravitz mode. Could you just A small part of me likes to believe that Max Wright's character on Friends is actually Willie Tanner. He escaped his family, or they escaped Alf. They're in that witness protection program now, and they moved to New York City. And he changes his name to Terry. He runs a coffee shop. He runs the Central Perk.
I don't know, like that's now his world, and he's just like praying, secretly praying and hoping that he never runs into Alf again or the government.
But he's stuck at this coffee shop with all these Gen Xers, and he's pissed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because it's like we're like peak Gen X right now. Like, Reality Bites has come out, Singles has come out, Clueless is gearing up to come out, I think, or it's already come out.
I honestly can't remember.
I think you know what? I think it's already come out by this point.
Yeah, I think it came out in theaters this summer. I'm going to look.
Yeah, the previous summer.
Yeah, it was a 1995 film. It came out that summer.
Yeah, so it's already come out. We're like peak this world, and now fucking Max Wright, Terry, he's had to spend the last like 10 years dealing with an alien. Now all of a sudden he has to deal with like another alien to him anyway, the Gen X crowd. And they're just kind of, I don't know, they're whiny. Like he has to deal with Phoebe. He's not paying her to perform in Central Park, but she's like, he talks to Rachel for Rachel to fire her. Is that it?
Yeah, he's like, you gotta get rid of her.
She's your fucking waitress. The fucking waitress isn't in charge of fucking hiring and firing. You're in charge of fucking hiring and firing, Terry.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Terry.
But because Rachel and Phoebe are friends, he's like, you do it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to deal with that shit.
And I guess he's thinking that if Rachel does it, Phoebe will, like, stop showing up.
Because let's be real, her songs aren't that great.
No.
This is also the first episode in which we get Smelly Cat, I've been told.
Smelly cat, what are they feeding you?
We learn that Terry has hired a new singer. Her name is Stephanie, and she's played by Chrissie Hynde from The Pretenders.
Yes, it's amazing. I love it. Like, this
weird.
episode is just like chock full of these great little like random ass guest stars.
It's fucking great. Oh yeah, there's fucking guest stars galore.
Or before they were stars in some people's cases.
That is true. So that's kind of like that story is boiling. But hold on, I think we should cut over to Chandler and Joey for a few minutes.
Yes,
they're now on the streets. They're now roaming around. Where were they going?
I think they're just like taking the kids to the park or something.
They're just going. Oh, you know what? Weren't they going to try to meet chicks? Was their whole thing?
Yeah, I think they figured like since they had the kid. Well, yeah, they had the baby, so they thought it would be like a good thing to help them pick up girls. Which, okay, I do not think that in my entire adulthood I have ever like hit on a guy with a kid.
You're just like, that's way too much baggage. Like, way too much baggage for me.
I'm like, not knowingly when he has not knowing he has a kid. Like I've dated men who have kids, but like they weren't like I wasn't hitting on them with the kid there. So
a dog would be more attractive than a kid, right?
Yeah, like if I see a guy with a kid, I figure he's a parent and he's with somebody.
Or he's a single dad and you just don't feel like fucking dealing with that world.
There's no time.
You're like, I'm not getting involved. I'm going to deal with the ex. The ex is going to be mad that I'm in his life now. And
hell no.
I don't know. Like, I'm going to become close with the kid. And then, he's going to start calling me mom. And it's just going to get fucking way too much. But you know what? Hold on. You see a guy with a little dog and you're like, ooh, that's cute.
Yeah, like a dog. You can do it. You with a dog. Like my boyfriend right now, he has a cat. Like, I've had exes that have dogs and cats, and it's a nice little icebreaker.
Yeah. You're like, yeah, a cat named Trixie. Come over to meet Trixie. All right, so I want to point out that Chandler and Joey, they're walking along the streets. They stop in front of, like a used CD store.
Yes.
And there's a gigantic poster for Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill, like, hanging on the window. This is, like, the year she broke, too. This is, like, Alanis's year.
This was Alanis's year. Oh, my God.
I did a fucking freeze frame. I took a picture of my TV, and I fucking sent it to you right away. And, in Fashion Corner, hold on, Fashion Corner. Chandler is wearing one of those, he's wearing one of those like and one t-shirts, but when men would wear like oversized t-shirts that were like 2 sizes too big for them.
Yes.
And then he would have the long sleeve shirt underneath, that total like slacker look. And it was just so baggy and bulky. So, and maybe he was wearing sweatpants. I couldn't kind of tell what his pants were. Maybe sweatpants.
I think neither of them were like dressed up. They were definitely dressed down for like just a chill day.
Yeah, because it's like a Sunday.
Yeah, it's like we're guessing it's like it's Saturday, Sunday kind of day because they're just like roaming the streets.
Yeah, they got the day off.
There's enough people like in the coffee house later for me to think it's not like a weekday afternoon.
Oh yeah, because like it never becomes night in this episode. It's like it's early. I'm guessing the episode probably started like just before lunchtime. Maybe they were having like a breakfast dessert. That was the kiwi lime pie.
Yeah, it's like Monica made this pie. They're all just chilling.
I'm led to believe that because it's people are at the coffee shop because of coffee. They're ordering coffee.
Yeah.
So that's why Rachel's still working. And you know what? Sometimes it's, especially on a Sunday, they have that like you just like to chill and drink coffee and listen to like slow tunes.
Yeah, it's just like kind of like a chill out kind of vibe. Like Saturday or Sunday afternoon, they have like a performance to get people in and provide an atmosphere that people want to be around, especially back in the 90s.
An acoustic performance of Angel of the Morning by the Pretenders. All right, so Joey and Chandler, they're in front of the CD store. There's like a bunch of cool like posters. The biggest one is Alanis Morissette. And we kind of see in the corner, we see like a little group of chicks, and they're like, oh, hold on, there's some babes. Hold on, we gotta like, present ourselves. And then who comes along? Hold on, who comes along? Caroline Duffy, Lea Thompson's character. They never say her name though. Like they never explicitly come out and say that it's Caroline from Caroline in the City, but we know it is.
Yeah. They never say it's Caroline, but she is dressed like Caroline because when Caroline goes out, she definitely wears very short skirts.
Oh, yeah.
And she's always got like the blazer because it's the 90s, and that's like, she's got that like preppy style going.
Yes. So she approaches Chandler and Joey. She comments that the child is adorable. And then she kind of like applauds them, for being a gay couple and adopting a child.
Yes.
Because it's the right thing to do. And she's so glad that, they're out in the open. And they're not afraid to, hide their child and their relationship.
Yeah. And she's like, what agency did you guys go through? How did you make this happen? Because my brother's looking to adopt with his boyfriend.
Joey and Chandler are like, they're shook. Like they
are flabbergasted. They are like,
they don't know what to say. They don't even say anything. They just kind of like are speechless.
Yeah, they're totally speechless because it never occurred to them that somebody would think they were
a couple.
Ben's parents.
Yeah. So Caroline exits stage left. She goes back to her show. Joey and Chandler are like, oh no, they have to like shake this. They have to shake this energy out them that they don't want. So they're like, all right, we need to immediately find like 2 chicks.
Yeah.
We have to find 2 chicks and just profess our hotness for them. And who do they see? They see Catherine Bell. Yes, Catherine Bell, star of JAG and The Good Witch. And other things. This is like pre-fame though. Pre-fame Catherine Bell?
Yeah, this is like pre-fame. This is like one of her the first things on like her IMDb page.
She's wearing...
It was like one of those things where I was like, oh my God, Patrick, look who's in this episode.
She's wearing like a long like leopard print like faux fur jacket.
Oh my God, it's so freaking 90s.
And she has another chick with her who we don't know who she is.
She's been in some stuff, but there wasn't like stuff I recognize the name of.
She's not on the same level as Catherine Bell, as Kat. We'll call her Kat Bell.
No.
Gal Pal. They're on the bus with her, the 2 girls, and they're like, yes, this is our, like, we're just watching this child. We're totally 2 heterosexual men just watching this child. And
they're totally going overboard on this, of course.
Yeah, they're selling it. They're making sure that they're not being confused for homosexuals. And the girls are like, they're into it. They're digging the vibe. They're digging the cool, like, dad vibe, I guess, that they have. Like, oh, like, you know what? Like, they don't mind watching their friend's son. You know what? This could be like long-term relationship goals right here.
Yeah.
The bus stops, and then the girl's like, all right, well, I guess this is our stop. And Joey and Sharon like, oh, like you live right here? So do we. Like they're obviously lying.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, why don't we get off and like hang out? Go get a drink. And they're like, yeah, sure, that's fine. So they get off the bus with the girls, and they leave. Yes, they leave the fucking baby on the bus.
Yes, they have like all the baby's crap, but they left the baby's car seat on the bus, and Ben is in the freaking car seat.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where like the car seat is detachable from the stroller, and you can like detach it to the stroller.
Yeah.
So they're off the bus, and like they have all their stuff, and Catherine Bell's like, hey, where's the baby? And they're like, oh fuck. And the bus takes off. They're like chasing after the bus.
Yeah, they start running after that bus.
The bus rounds the corner. Then there's like 3 other buses, so they don't even know which one is the bus.
Yeah.
They then go to they call the transit authority.
Oh my God, it's so awkward. It's so awkward. And Joey makes it worse.
So is it Chandler who calls or is it Joe who calls first? I can't remember.
First it's Chandler, and he's like, my friend and I, we're writing a book. What would you do if somebody left a baby on a bus? Not that we did.
They're talking about this like hypothetical situation, yeah.
Yeah.
And then so he hands the phone to Joey. Joey kind of like some dumb Joey line, and then he's like, he hands the phone back to Chandler. He's like, they want to talk to you. Hold on, this part is fucking weird. So they go to the transit authority, like the headquarters, I guess.
Yeah.
And they show up, and they're like, yeah, we're the two men who like left the baby on the bus. So like whoever like the desk person like directs them to a room. And there's like a room with like multiple fucking like baby fucking cribs in there with like multiple babies.
Yeah, there's multiple cribs. They don't ask for any ID. And like, okay, so wait, could we just like show up at the transit authority and take a kid?
Yeah. So, but it's just weird though. There's like multiple like lost babies.
Yeah, like
in this fucking room. So people are just leaving babies on buses. It's like a common thing that happens in this world.
Apparently. I mean, I kind of get it like if you have like stressed out mom brain.
So they realize they get there and they realize that they don't remember what baby Ben was wearing. They're like, was it an outfit with ducks on it? Was it an outfit with clowns? So they basically just flip a coin for it. They flip a fucking coin.
Yeah, they're trying to figure it out. They have no clue if this is baby Ben because these babies look enough alike that it could be either one.
They flip a fucking coin. It's heads. Then they realize they didn't assign a baby to like heads or tails. So they're like, all right, we'll just take this one because, might as well, right?
And Joey's like, well, ducks have heads.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
So we're going to take this one. And Chandler's like, what kind of clowns went to your birthday parties?
Headless clowns. So.
Okay, then.
So now, by this point, Ross is like cured of his anaphylactic shock. Allergic reaction.
Yeah, like the doctor just like stabbed him with that needle. And Ross like kind of freaked out, but like the medication starts to work.
He can talk.
They get home. They're all like like Joey and Chandler think they're going to get away with this little coup, this little scheme. And they almost do, but this is my favorite part. The baby's diaper has property of the transit authority stamped on it.
That is fucking weird. That is fucking weird.
Like, really? Really?
Hold on. So, I want to just point out, so we never actually get, like, solid confirmation that they actually grabbed the right child.
Yeah.
They just kind of assumed it because when they got back home and they handed the baby to Monica, the baby started crying. So they're like, all right, so I guess it's...
And he didn't start crying right away, though.
That is true. He
took a minute.
Like 10 seconds, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking, maybe this baby's crying because these are, like, strangers, and the baby is, like, not used to these people.
I don't know.
Is this a switched at birth situation? Well, not at birth, but switched at the transit authority situation? Is baby Ben not really baby Ben?
He might not be. I mean, Ben later was very blonde in the Cole Sprouse years.
That is true. That is true.
I mean, Carol was blonde, but Ross is, like... pitch black hair, so
we kind of assumed that Ross obviously would have like known his son on site, so like okay, so they definitely grabbed the right child.
Yeah,
but how do we know? Ross is kind of like flaky. How
do we know that is really baby Ben?
And maybe Carol and Susan are they're young and in love. Maybe they don't exactly know what baby Ben looks like. So I don't know. I feel like as viewers of the show, we should have like got more confirmation, maybe.
Then the baby cries when Monica's near.
So I guess that kind of wraps up that storyline. So I think we'll get over.
That wraps up 2 out of our 3. We got to get to our girls, Rachel and Phoebe.
They're at the Central Perk. It's cold in there because Rachel's got hard nipples. Just want to point that out. Is that why they call it Central Perk?
Hey, I just know that poor Jennifer Aniston's nipples are always like visible on this show. And I just want to be like, girl, padded bras, they existed back then. Just a light padding.
I don't know.
And you won't have to see that.
She loved it. Low-key girl loved it. She loved the attention. She was already famous for her hair. Now she wants to be famous for her titties. So.
But yeah, that's something I totally notice whenever you watch these episodes. Like, you can always see the hardness of nipples.
Shout out to the hard nips. All right. So Rachel has to fire Phoebe from her like unpaid job at Central Perk as like the house band.
She's like, Terry hired this girl. He wants to give her a chance. And Phoebe's like, do you think I'm not good? And Rachel's like, not sure how to answer this because she loves Phoebe.
She knows.
She thinks Phoebe has some talent, but Phoebe's very much an acquired taste.
Maybe like she should have just told Phoebe, you know what, maybe you should just do covers. Do covers of like popular songs.
Yeah.
Maybe like save your original for like the later crowd after late in the afternoon when the foot traffic's gone down a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe you should just sing fucking Ironic by Alanis.
Could you even imagine?
Alright, so Phoebe's upset because now she finds out that the new girl is going to get paid. This is a paid gig. So she's like, you know what? I'm going to take my job to the streets. So she literally goes right out front. She goes right out front of Central Park. She starts like singing her weird songs. And people are actually like leaving her like change and stuff. People are walking by and like dropping change in there.
Yeah.
But hold on.
Yeah, like she's getting some tips. And like this is the thing Phoebe does though when she's like mad. Like, because she does it later in the later season. She plays outside of Monica's restaurant that she works at in protest because Monica's like, oh, well, you're not the right fit for the restaurant. And Phoebe doesn't get it because Monica runs like an upscale, freaking like fancy $75 a plate restaurant kind of place.
Yeah, this ain't no Starbucks ripoff.
Yeah.
we get a weird scene. So Stephanie, the new girl, shows up. It's played by Chrissie Hynde. And we get like she sings Angel of the Morning by the Pretenders. Everyone's into it. The place is packed. And we get that aforementioned shot that I told you where Rachel looks out the window and she sees like Phoebe beaten down and broken in the streets. Mm-hmm. So, she goes out, she talks to Phoebe. She has like a heart to heart with Phoebe. And she's like, you know what? Maybe I'll talk to my boss and see if I can get like your old gig back. So she goes in, she talks to fucking Terry. And she's like, just hire her back. She's like, you don't even pay her. Like, she just comes in and sings. Like, that's fine. He's like, yeah, I guess you're right. You know what? We'll have her be like the encore. She just comes out later on in the afternoon. Rachel goes out and she's like, great news. She's like, Terry's hired you back. And she's like, oh, that's excellent. How much am I going to get paid? And she's like, oh,
yeah.
I thought you were just going to do it for free. Like you've been doing all along. And she's like, well, no, if Stephanie's getting paid, I want to get paid. And she's like, I guess I'm in a pickle now. But then, hold on. Phoebe points out that, the quality of her music has dipped ever since she started, like, receiving cash for play, which I guess because people have been throwing her tips.
Yes, from, like, the last hour.
Yeah, literally within the last hour. So she's like, maybe I'll go back to my roots. I was a better musician when I didn't get paid.
Yeah.
So Rachel's kind of like, oh, like, how much did you make? And she's like, $6.35 and like a condom.
Yes.
Someone threw a condom in there.
Yes.
And it turns out to be Giovanni Ribisi.
Yes.
Not that much longer after this episode is revealed to be Phoebe and
Frank Jr.
Buffy's brother. Or not Buffy. Ursula.
I
say Buffy. Their last name's Buffy, right? Buffet.
And Ursula does do a Buffy the Vampire style porno.
Giovanni Ribisi appears in this episode as an unnamed character who comes back looking for his condom that he dropped in there. Mm-hmm. Because I guess he put it in there by accident. He was probably just like grabbing spare change and just threw in a fucking Trojan.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he was going to get lucky and he realized he didn't have the condom anymore. He had to run back and get it.
Yeah.
Was that Frank Jr.? I went down a Reddit hole last night. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people seem to think it is Frank Jr. and that he had just come to the city for like the first time and he's trying to like learn his origin, I guess.
Yeah.
And he has this run-in with Phoebe and he doesn't realize it.
They have no clue that they're brother and sister. And like, why would they? There's no reason for them to make that connection in this episode.
Oh, no, not at all. That's a fan theory that this is actually like their first introduction.
I'm down with that fan theory. You know how I feel about a lot of fan theories. I get like, guys, you're overthinking this shit. But this I see because it just makes sense. Because of the energy he's displaying too, it's very similar to the energy he displays when he's playing Frank Jr.
I mean, in reality, the producers probably liked him and just like used him again.
Yeah.
We like to think that this is Frank Jr. This is Frank Jr.'s
probably
origins right here.
Right here, baby, right here.
Phoebe goes back in. She gets her job back, her unpaid job back as a performer at Central Perk. Mm-hmm. And she sings Smelly Cat for the first time. And everyone loves it, I guess. Some people hate it. Mostly people probably hated it.
I mean, it's Smelly Cat. You either love it or you hate it.
Then we get the scene with, it's kind of like the post-credit scene where it's Chrissie, Hynde, and Phoebe, and they're just like jamming together, and she's teaching Chrissie, Hynde Smelly Cat. And little did we know,
Chrissie doesn't get how smelly Smelly Cat is.
Little did we know that this would go on to be a phenomenon. Like, this was just a throwaway joke.
Smelly Cat, what are they feeding you?
And that is the one with the baby on the bus.
Yes.
Hats off to you, baby on the bus. Hats off to Rachel's hard nips. Half off to the baby swap. Half off to like the real baby Ben that's out there somewhere in his own spin-off. His as of yet announced spin-off.
Probably living a much more like a normal life with like.
You know what'd be great?
Not having Ross as a father.
You know what'd be fucking great if they announced it's almost 30 years later. We get the spin-off of which young Ben, whose now name is Roy, we'll call him Roy. He finds out that he was switched at the transit authority.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a memento that was in the bag that comes back into fruition. So who knows? Maybe we'll get a Friends spin-off. That's not Joey.
A Friends spin-off with Baby Roy trying to take back the life that Baby Ben stole.
I wouldn't even know how they would figure it out, but who knows? Because they didn't ask for ID. The transit authority didn't ask for ID, so they would never figure it out.
I don't know. Like, you do a DNA test, and you're like, Mom, Dad, why am I not your kid? They're like, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
Betty, could it be that one time you left him at the transit authority? Could somebody have taken our kid? She's like, there wasn't any other babies, but there were other cribs, so maybe. Yeah,
maybe the baby's dad needs a blood transfusion, so they assume it's going to be the kid who's now an adult, and they just check the blood to make sure, and they find out that it's not a match, and they're all confused.
Yeah,
and then they go back through this weird downward spiral to try to figure out their lives, and they go all the way back to November 2nd, 1995. I want that world. Come in this fall.
That would be amazing. Amazing.
Oh, hold on. Hot scoop. Maybe
what?
Maybe it's maybe no one actually ends up claiming the baby, and the baby gets adopted by Caroline Duffy's brother, who's looking to adopt.
Ooh.
And it could be a sly Caroline in the City spinoff. Fan fiction alert. Dun, dun. On a scale of 1 out of 5 kiwi lime pies, how many kiwi lime pies would you give this episode?
I'm gonna give this a 4. It's a great, fun episode. While you're watching it, it's these great little adventures. It's great for the characters. It's just very pure.
Yeah, I'll also give it a 4. It gets 1 point for Rachel's hard nips. It gets another point for Chrissie Hynde. It gets a 3rd point for the Alanis Morissette poster, and a 4th point for Catherine Bell's hot leopard print jacket. So I don't know. Ooga.
Oh my goodness.
Almost a perfect app, but not quite.
Almost. Yeah, it's pretty. It's a nice, good episode.
It loses a point for that weird transit authority scene in which no one checks ID to pick up a baby.
Yeah.
I get, it's 1995. No one cared about fucking that kind of stuff then.
I guess not.
I'm excited about next week. Speaking of Caroline in the City, so we're desperately searching for the episode that aired this night, in which Caroline's sister bumps into, I believe it's Chandler at the movie store.
Yes.
For some reason, this episode's not on the CBS All Access app. Is that?
That's correct. It's one of the that are missing. This episode, the episode where the Thanksgiving episode is missing that has Carol Brady in it. There's weird little missing episodes.
Do you think because it uses other properties?
It might be it. But I think I saw something. Let me just look real quick.
So I've definitely found clips of the episode on YouTube and Dailymotion, but I haven't yet to find the full episode. So I don't know.
Yeah, to be fair, if it wasn't for the CBS All Access app, it would be really, really difficult to find Caroline in the City episodes.
Oh, for sure. So if we can't find the episode, we're going to try to do this one. But if we can't find it, we'll have a backup.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for a backup. Hopefully we get this episode, but if not, you get the backup.
Yeah.
And we get to go into the world.
Caroline Duffy, her best friend Annie, her colorist Richard, her ex-fiancé Dell, and his wacky sidekick Charlie.
Stay tuned. We've talked about Caroline City for years, probably like for as long as we've done this podcast, right? Am I right?
Probably. Like, Caroline in the City was like one of my favorite shows back in the day. And then it didn't get, like, syndicated.
No, because
I don't think it had enough episodes.
And if it did have enough episodes, I guess there just wasn't enough interest in it. You know, maybe they passed on it. People are like, you know what?
Yeah.
We're going to pass. We're going to do a hard pass.
Like, I think Lifetime had it for a little while, but not enough.
So we're kind of entering that age where there were a lot of popular NBC sitcoms, but a lot of them just didn't, like, after they stopped, their shelf life vanished. Like Veronica's Closet, Suddenly Susan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even News Radio to an extent. Like they just kind of vanished after its run ended. Just Shoot Me. Things like, well, actually, Just Shoot Me was kind of on.
Like, they might have had like little
resurgence
points where they resurfaced. Like, I remember News Radio was always on like A&E for a while. I could find it, but not all the time.
Yeah, and like I remember like watching Just Shoot Me in like 2008, 2009 in the afternoons on like TBS or something.
Yeah.
But it wasn't...
Yeah, like TBS would pick random ones, and sometimes I'd be like, really, that's the show you're going to pick out of like all these shows?
Who knows? Who knows what we'll do next week? But hold on. Where can you follow our wild adventures, Kat Hall, said the author. Where can you follow our wild adventures?
You can find us on Twitter at VeryPodcast. You can find us on YouTube by searching A Very Special Podcast. I don't think we have what we need yet to make it so you can just go YouTube/A Very Special Podcast or anything. I've been looking. And all our back catalog is there because Patrick made it throw up our past episodes.
Yep. We vomited all of our past episodes on there so you can go back and, I don't know, listen to them. I would say watch them, but...
Like, I legit went on... like, he told me he posted them, and I legit went on to YouTube the next day, and, like, my entire subscription feed was, like, AVSP episodes, so...
You're just on YouTube at work. You can't get the podcast app to work at work. But YouTubers, feel free to listen to us there. Leave us some comments on there. Leave us some hot comments. Maybe like them, I guess. I don't know. We have a lot of dislikes right now. And you can also listen to us on Podcoin. So what is Podcoin? It's a hot new app that literally pays you to listen to podcasts. Yep. You just listen to podcasts. You earn Podcoins. You can actually go to your app store right now, download the Podcoin app, and use code VERYSPECIAL to earn 300 Podcoins right off the bat. And you can use those Podcoins to redeem them for hot items like Amazon gift cards, a Starbucks card, or you can donate to charity. You can like feed animals, or you can even save up for the long haul and get some cool like Bose headphones. So you go. So download the app today, girl. Download the app today. And as always, Kat Halstead, the author, as always.
Bye!
Watch the storefront windows for a giant Alanis Morissette Jagged Little Pill poster.
You're a mess.
Bye.